Good morning, friends, and welcome to school today. Yesterday, we began talking about narratives, and narratives are just stories. They're stories about someone. Well, let's take a look at this slide just a moment while I present. If you looked yesterday in Google Classroom, you saw this slide. This is a personal narrative I began. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not, I want to show you the slide first. So this is a personal narrative. Personal narratives are, this explains a personal narrative. Personal narratives. The purpose of writing a personal narrative is to tell a story about you. Point to yourself. Go ahead, point to yourself right now and say, tell a story about me. Let's do it again. Tell a story about me. You can describe an event or an experience. And there's a few things you need to remember when you're working on a personal narrative. You need to remember to focus on a small moment of time. For example, on my birthday, I had a birthday party. Well, I'm probably not going to tell you about the entire birthday, like from the minute I woke up and we're preparing for the party, right through the party till the minute we're cleaning up. Maybe I'm just going to tell you about the time while I'm opening the presents. Remember that stories always have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So your personal narrative has to do the same thing. It has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You describe people, places, and things. So these eyes are to remind you to think about things that you see, you hear, you smell. For example, if I'm talking about my birthday party, and I might explain to you the sweet smell of the cake frosting. Can you picture that right now? Oh, it smells so good. My mouth begins to water. So there I'm describing a thing. I'm describing the cake and how it smells. I could also describe what it looks like. I could tell you that it was round and it was pink with, it had pink icing. Maybe I can tell you that the cake was vanilla. And after the first bite, I went, yum. So describe people, places, and things. Remember to tell how you feel. In the story this morning about the wolf and that didn't want to go to school, Wilson was his name. I think his name was Wooly Wilson. He was scared to go to school. So in the story, they told us he was scared because he was afraid that he was going to get a bunch of answers wrong and that the teacher wouldn't like him. Well, on my birthday, how would I be feeling? Think about how you would be feeling on your birthday. Well, I might be happy or I might be excited. So I might, instead of telling you I'm happy or excited, I might talk about the smile on my face, or how I couldn't sit still because my friends would be here soon. The last thing I want you to think about is if there's more than one person in your story, you're probably talking to them, and that's called dialogue. That when we're talking with somebody, we use the word dialogue. So for example, on this, the middle girl asked, "Do you want to play?" And then this girl says, "Yeah," and this girl says, "Sure." So they're talking, they're having a conversation. Maybe I'm talking with my daughter about my birthday party and how I am excited because a friend is coming over. So those are dialogues, just conversation amongst people. Well, my story is called One Summer Day. And here's the picture I worked on. So remember yesterday you were supposed to work on a picture for your story? We weren't worried about the words yet. We were just thinking about what we wanted to write about, so we drew a picture. Here's my story. When I woke up, the sun was shining bright. It was supposed to be a hot day, so I decided Molly and I better go for our walk early. I put her harness and red leash on, and off we went. Molly stopped to sniff every new scent. It took forever to get around the block. I went straight for the sink and took a long drink of cold water, while Molly slurped at her dish. So I'd like to go back to the slide and let's think about focusing on a small moment of time. Did I talk about just a small moment in time? Well, I didn't talk about the entire day or my entire summer. I just talked about one time period where I went and took Molly for a walk. Well, guys, our block isn't that big, so it doesn't take that long to walk. So, yes, I did just talk about one moment in time. In this story, I'm not talking about a birthday party or a book I read or a movie I watched with Molly. I'm just talking about when we walked. So think about that when you're writing your story. Are you sticking to just one moment in time? Okay, today your assignment is to start writing your story. Remember, all stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So think about what you drew yesterday and start writing about that. Be prepared to share tomorrow.